Hello, sports fans, and welcome back to the NRL SuperCoach BDE Podcast. We are the best draft experts here to dive into the round 4 team lists, having a look at round 3 and what it was, and really just trying to make our way through the wreckage that is SuperCoach at the moment. And who better to dive in and give you all the expert analysis than these two beautiful gentlemen in front of me. Simo, welcome, sir.
Thank you, mate. Hello, listeners. Great to be here. It's, mate, what you said is bang on. Just absolute carnage. You've got suspension city, injuries starting to pop up. Just like a couple of weird coaching things as well, which we'll get to. But, yeah, it's just – it doesn't take long for SuperCoach to throw up a few curveballs. And, you know, it's only round 4, but it really feels like it's mid-season form in probably the wrong way. So, very important waiver wire podcast this week, as it always is, to make sure you manage your team well. So that's why we're here.
Well said, Tim, and I love it, mate. This is the juicy goodness that's normally reserved for mid-season, so we're already there in round 4. Bring it on, I say. Todd, man. How are you, sir?
Yes, mate, very good. Happy to be here again to talk some footy. Pretty crazy weekend of footy. I enjoyed most of it, especially those mighty Wars giving your Knights an absolute flogging. Happy to talk about what's happening this week.
Yeah, the Knights having their colours lowered. Well played to the Wars. And if there's a team I like seeing going well, mate, I can live with it being the Wars. They go good. Go good, mate. Let's go. A couple of early comments from some of our regulars. Our man, Dom. Lads, another big week ahead. Toddy. Gents, we got a mention from Dom.
Hey.
Big news. Love
looking
the
up
potty.
for you boys. On you, Dom. He's looking
Love
up
your
for
work,
you.
Dom. Merch on the way just for you, Tiger. Love your work. Lock it in. Good to have you back, good sir. The Bronze Prince and Co. Let's do this. Lots to discuss.
Lock it in.
Buckle up.
Oh, the Bronze Prince is fantastic. I love that.
Now,
I was
folks,
hoping it wasn't going to stick.
We'll dive into the carnage that was, but we realized last week the content was so heavy, we didn't dive into the Listener League. So figured we'd start off with just a quick update for those listeners, especially the ones who are participating. Todd's up. Fire away, please, sir.
Yes, mate. Round 3 was a spicy one in the Listener League. BDE Simon gets the job done against Adolf Fittlers. Put up a pretty decent score, 874 for you, Simo. That's pretty nice.
Good.
Don't go chasing Kurt Falls. Gets a 100-point exactly win over Redford. Cop that, Redford. I get one of the dirtiest wins at 790 points you've ever seen against Munsters Inc., who, I mean, he's in the top 4, mate, so I'll take that.
It's good team.
Silkwood Slugs, not looking great from last spot. Gets absolutely pounded by the Bearded Broncos, who put up 959, boys. That is a decent score in that format.
Yeah,
Baxter's Boys gets a dirty win as well, less than me. That's disgusting, you dog. 762 versus 743. SJ's Revenge back in the winner's circle. He's going all right this year. 731 versus Sherry's Pies. A little bit like Sherry on the pine with 680. I thought we'll go through the ladder. Don't go chasing Kurt Falls, top of the log. 3 from 3. Just following him with also 3 from 3 is Simo. Bearded Dragons in third. Munsters Inc. 4th. Baxter's Boys in there at 5. SJ's Revenge. Wet Hair Nico in 7th. Adolf Fittler 8th. All the way down to me in the mighty 9-hole. It's a spot to win it from, boys. Jerry's Pies in 10th. Had a shocker of a start. 0-3 BDE Redford sitting second last, mate. Just ahead of Silkwood Slugs. So that's a wrap-up of the Listener League. It's been fun. There's been some big scores put up. Be interested to see what happens at the end of the season, boys.
Yeah, you don't want injuries to spine players in a 12-team league, gentlemen. Just going to throw it out there. Makes it pretty tough. Waivers are pretty bare there, so we'll try and cater to those leagues.
Are they ever?
Because it is it's scarce, gentlemen, is what I'll say.
You're the JC owner in that, aren't you, Redford?
I am the JC owner, mate. That
Yeah,
has been a
tough
rough little shot. Also CHT owner, which we'll get into very shortly. So that's gone very well for me, my half choice to start the year. Andrew Keaty, straight into it. Welcome, good sir. Had the privilege of owning Rauchman, getting 4 weeks while ending the other. Oh, that's brutal. How good. Ranking help Croker, Leilua, Katonga, and Stewart. We will get to those, good sir, I promise. So Simo, can you make a note, mate, of that? Have you got pen and paper or anything with you? Yeah, Can you just come back to that one? Because that's a really good question, mate. We'd love to give you some support. I've got some early thoughts, but I want to unpack it with the boys. All right. What I thought we'd do, Simo, your ex, I'll let you write this down, but again, try and weave in the answers for the listeners if you got any from Mighty X tonight. And if there are any, do you have any bigger overarching sort of questions, Simo, to get started, mate?
No, I think we only had a couple this week, so I'll just try and bring those in as we get to them, I think will be the way to go. Beautiful,
mate. Love it. All right. Firing away, gentlemen. One that is just very interesting from a SuperCoach perspective, as well as, again, of a redemption arc for some of the players involved here. I'm going to start off by saying that if you were someone who drafted heavily in Broncos and Roosters outside backs, you probably haven't started the year too flash, gentlemen. I think the schedule is about to change for both of those teams. And I think if anyone has given up on some players in these squads and they're, I guess, more gettable or they've been dropped in shallower leagues, I think this is your time to jump on and there's about to be a good turn of upside. So, because I've mentioned the Roosters there, I think you Daniel Tupou, if you can go get him, if you can get him on the cheap from somewhere, I'm all about the buy low. Big fan. Love the idea. The Wangani Tawaze is the big one, gentlemen. I think you're about to have some really good fun as an owner. Hugely gettable, Simo, I would imagine right now, given the lofty expectations.
But there's not many Roosters who aren't pretty gettable. Like even Tedesco. Like if you own Tedesco, spending a first round pick, there's a good chance that you are 1 and 2, 0 and 3. It hasn't been great for any Roosters really. So you could fire away with anyone because I think you're right. That let's be real, like these two teams, Roosters and Broncos. I know the Broncos won on the weekend, but like SuperCoach wise, they can't really go that much worse than they have been for both those teams. So I really like the shout for buy lows on both those two teams in particular.
Beautiful. Checking in then, I'll stick with you here, Simo, as our Roosters fan. Reece Robson, mate, hat off to him in a shit performance. He actually played pretty good real-life footy as well for someone who should have been a bit rusty. Not his fault they got caned. I think he's looking a lot of promise to be the third best hooker, as we suspected he might. I think that was a very good start.
Oh, if you're an owner of Robson, that couldn't have gone much better that first week back because like we mentioned the week before that he might have only played sort of limited minutes. I believe he pumped out 70 plus, which is just massive in the first week back. And they got pantsed as well, so there was no reason to keep him out there. I think Reece Robson is pretty much locked in as the third best hooker, and that could be by quite a margin. So if you jumped on when we mentioned it, you've done well.
Absolutely. Our man Phoenix has joined us. Hey, boys, I can vouch. I have Sam Walker and Teddy at 0 and 3. Join the club, old son. Better times ahead. I'd throw Sam Walker in the buy low as well, folks. Like, I'm not saying I'm as confident as I was. I'll put my hand up and say that. There's some weird signs that they're relying on DCE. I don't think that's the answer at all for the Roosters. They need to get Sam Walker the ball in better in positions. Little short side raids from DCE, little crappy little grubby kicks that he's doing. It ain't going to unlock good defenses. They need Sam Walker on the pill. But I think Bilow's definitely there. It's just it depends on what you're actually offering. That's a tough one. Egan Butcher hanging on to the 13. Just going to keep commenting on that until he isn't. He would, along probably the worst 2 13s in the league in this game, to be fair. Just awful.
Yeah, that's a statement. It's true.
I'm going to stick with it. I know Gus has lost a step, but I think against softer opposition, the chance is coming. As you said, Simo, very gettable as well. Really quickly checking in on Connor Watson. So, Todd, I'll go to you on this one, mate. Did finally get a bit more game time. Now, I understand they were getting blown out. They just wanted to try something different. But he actually did rotate through 13 a hell of a lot better in this game and got above the 50. With Hooker being as horrendous as it is he a sneaky little pickup here? Because he's been dropped in a shit ton of leagues.
Oh, I think if he's been dropped, he's probably a pickup. The thing with Connor Watson, like they were getting blown out. I think he had some extended time here just by a game sort of game log. I think once Radley gets back to it, it's another mouth to feed. I just think that Robson's going to go that whole 80, unfortunately, for Connor Watson owners. And I understand like the whole hooker thing, but I think he's going to be like a 50 player and that's all he's going to be.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
not really. It doesn't really tickle me that much.
He'll finish 5th in the hooker rankings.
Good too, yeah.
The average. Oh, dear. All right, gentlemen.
Just to back onto that, mate, I think what Toddy said is bang on. Like, matches where the Roosters have things go the way they want it to, which hasn't happened the first 3 weeks. If the Roosters come out and start panting teams, like you could see Connor Watson play less minutes in those games. But yeah, if they fall behind like they did last week, get him out there for that bit of impact. See what goes, see what happens there. So yeah, like this week in particular will be really interesting, like for the rest of the season value of Connor Watson, because if the Roosters do have their way with Manly, will Connor Watson play 55 minutes or will he play like round one? I think he only played like 20 minutes off the bench. Like it was
very short.
It was actually pretty wild. So it might have been like sometime in the second half. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Just don't understand how he's not there starting 13, playing for 60 minutes and get better results than Egan Butcher. I don't get it, Simo. It's very confusing to me.
Yep.
Relevant question from Lock It In here, gentlemen, because 2 of the players are involved in this game, and we'll get to Nikora a little bit later. Do I drop Hopewade or Tupu to pick up Tamale? I'll jump in early and say I would not drop Tupu personally. I think that's a bit overs. Hopewade or... I don't know the nature of Nikora. Has he actually just been dropped, Tonto?
I'm not too sure, mate. Broken nose.
I think it's
broken nose. Okay, so I'd drop Hopper, given how Manly look at the moment with that half combination, but I would not drop Tupu or Nikora personally. Any disagreement, gentlemen?
Yeah, it's between Nikora and Hopewade. The fact that you're picking up a CTW means you probably do pick up Hopper. It's just a tough one with dropping guys like him, though, like Hopper, because if Tommy Turbo gets injured, which is well and truly on the cards, as we all know, it's one of those ones you could easily regret. So,
agreed.
Like, I'd almost go Nikora, just even though I think Nikora probably is the better player. Like, I feel better about him rest of season, but I think the regret is way higher if things don't go your way. So, I'd probably lean Nikora, but it's not a huge sell.
Okay. Lock It In says we play reduced 2RF and CT dub, hence the value and carrying other blokes' injuries. Yeah, that's that shallower format I think you've shared with us before, Lock It In. So, yeah, I think I get the appeal of Tamale, but yeah, just not Tupu. I would personally drop Hopewade just because of Manly struggles. And I guess, Simo, going to your point about the redraw on Hopper playing fullback, there's also the Seabold getting fired. That would be huge for Manly.
Yeah. So. Manly can't, they'll be bad all year, but they can't be this bad all year. You think they'd show a little bit more.
Absolutely. Yeah, just a quick addition. Yeah, draft value, Lock It In. So, in other words, $12 for Hopper, $1 for Tupo. Personally, I don't really think that matters. It's more about what you think you can get out of them, and I think that playing Tupo for this little period is going to be pretty good. So, all right, good luck, mate. Good luck with those. To Manly, I'm still very much on the train. You can start Olakau'atu just because he's a very good football player. Doesn't really matter who he's playing with. He's good. Paseka probably gets a bulk amount of minutes this week, so I absolutely can get around starting him this week as an FRF2. That's a very easy one for me. Dom's jumped in. Ben Trebojevic looking at a Nikora replacement. He's 50, based his way through. If you want to bore your way to a spot, good luck to you, Dom. The only, as our resident Burbo truth.
Yeah, my boy Burbo, watch him.
Oh, boy, Burbo.
Give him the CTW drill back so I can really get behind the kid.
Get around it, mate. Get around it. Just watching Joey Walsh in 20th. As a Manly fan, I'd be watching his progress very closely. Stay fit, please, young man. Stay fit. You can start Cooler. Ruben Garrick is a very tough start. Roosters haven't been defending that well, so maybe you can sneak him in as a fourth, but I'd be it's Turbo, Cooler, Fogarty if he's in a deeper league, if you just have to. Might kick a couple of goals. Paseka, Olakau'atu, that's it, right? Done?
Yep.
Phoenix has said, is Simpkin a pickup as a plug-and play for JMK? Look, with Wakeham on the bench, I don't love it. It sucks that he is, because if Simpkin could play 80, he'd be absolutely fine, but I'd be trying not to play Jake Simpkin, gentlemen.
Yeah, Simpkin got spelled by Wakeham last week, so it's a bit of a worrying sign.
He did. I really enjoyed the commentary when they said, "Oh, it's Brandon Wakeham. What's he doing here?" It's like this shock that he'd found another spot on an NRL roster. Loved it.
Yep.
Todd's up, salivating the upcoming matchup for the Waz against the Tigers, 5 p.m. on Friday. Tell me it's going to be dry, old son, please.
I haven't checked the weather, but feels like a Waz 30-point drumming of these Tigers, baby. Let's go.
You obviously are green lighting RTS in the back line. Start Ali Leotara as well. A bigger day is coming, in my opinion. I think that's a good 4 CT dub this week. This Tigers team, they're going to be rocked by the loss of Luai, gentlemen. It's going to hurt. It's one of those. It's like the Campbell with the Titans. At least the Titans look somewhat competent for stages on the week just gone. So I'm Leotauer, yes. You can even start Dallin as a 4 CT dub in this. I have no problem with that as a bit of an upside play. Unfortunately, Simo, I was behind your Tane play. I think he's a better player at fullback. I really do. I'd love Shans to go in for Pompey, but unfortunately, we've seen it before, mate. Tuapiki back, not even on the usable bench. He is pumped.
No, I couldn't even start him this week. He's not even in the 18. It's look, let's be real, it hasn't gone well for people like myself that were massive on Tane. But
I love how you said that.
That is one way to put it.
It hasn't gone well.
That's so good.
Well, the thing is, right?
The
thing is, like, these are the ones that really suck, because anyone that watched that game on the weekend, Tuapiki was bloody unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great.
I know that was against the Knights, but like every time he touched the ball, he looked like breaking the line or doing something. And the Wires are killing it, so I get it. But yeah, I'm sorry to all the listeners out there that spent a high waiver on Tuapiki, because it's one of those shots that I feel like we, as a collective, we got it right, but we've still got it wrong. And they're the ones that hurt the most. So I still reckon he's a prime bench guy. Like, keep him on your bench. Because like any injury, like we saw, like when CHT got the HIA, Chance is pretty versatile. They can play him anywhere in the back line, 6 or centre. So you cop an injury there, Tuapiki's probably straight in. So yeah, just keep him around. He's a good player. Just say the course.
Yeah, so nice. Cost me a win this week, heading off a try. Real nice guy. Everyone's burned for different reasons. And I do like what you said there. Like, listeners, you know that. It's not perfect science. We go on what are moves you make in your league that potentially give you a better chance of winning your league overall. We're not interested in making finals. We are absolutely there to try and help you win, or at least make your grand final. There you go. So I love the shout, Simo. I unfortunately was the doomsayer that predicted this would happen. I don't feel good about it, and I agree with you that I think it would be better if Tuapiki stayed there. However, some excitement. Oh, actually, just quickly, comp for me with Tuapiki, slightly less electric Keanu Kinney. Just a little down from Kinney's explosiveness, in my opinion, but not miles away. Fair toss?
Not the worst shout. I don't think it's the worst shout.
Similar.
We've seen a whole lot more than of Kinney, though.
We have.
We've only seen real Tane in little bits.
Todza, I'm going to call it that if Tuapiki somehow does make his way to fullback for a finals run, that was a pretty sure they're getting there with the forward depth that you have, mate. If Luke Metcalf, he's playing the position he should have been playing in to begin with. I know he did a right at halfback last year. He's a 5'8". He's a great run over the pill. If Tanner Boyd somehow maintains even 75% of the form here, there is some genuine excitement about this Waz team this year, right?
Yeah, I get it. That's all great in theory, but like, we've seen Tanner Boyd play before. We've seen him do these things. We've recommended him on this podcast numerous times to plug and play here, plug and play there. Like, there's every chance he comes out and shits the bed next week. Like, I'm not going to be here just, Tanner. Like, I love it for Metcalf. I think he is definitely more of a 5'8" role, that ball running, that support play, that craftiness. I do think that. And I do think that this is going to be our best team sort of if we were to make a run to the final, but I'm not sold on the Tanner Boyd thing. I think he's playing really good footy, but we've seen it happen with Tanner Boyd before.
Okay. If it weren't for his storied junior career of representative football, this wouldn't even be something I brought up with you, right? But there is a history in sport in general of a young talent that ended up at the wrong spot, got the wrong coaching, got the wrong culture into him, finally gets a new location. He was okay last year. He wasn't this, obviously. Your Wars draw, I think, has been not soft, but like favorable with home playing and all this stuff.
Yeah.
All I'll say is, from a SuperCoach perspective, I don't think Tanner Boyd is going to disappear this year, is my read. Maintaining this ridiculous level of like top 2 halfback, sure. But I wouldn't say this is an automatic sell high moment, Simo, depending on what you get back. Do you know what I mean? Like, the Metcalf hurdle was the biggest one. He's playing that good that Metcalf has lost his 7 spot. Tanner Boyd is interesting, but number 1 with a bullet, Metcalf waiver claim this week because he's going to get dual eligibility. It's not even good. One of the biggest we've had forever. Yeah,
well, I mean, look, you want to hope that everyone listening is switched on enough to have Metcalf already owned in their league. Like, this is not news that we weren't prepared for. Like, we knew he was coming back. Right. Probably not this early, but a couple of weeks away. So, astute owners would have him on their roster a post-draft, let alone last week or the week before. Mm-hmm. So, but if he obviously if he is out there, then yes, go and get him. Like, it's not rocket science that, but it's a bit of a tough one, Tanner Boyd. Like, I really don't have faith in him long term, to be perfectly honest. Like, so I probably am a bit more like Toddy, but like if I owned him, I'd be selling. Let's not. I hope I'd be selling. Just see what you can go out and get. I think that's the right play. Like he could, like until he sort of does it over in Australia against a good team over here. That's when I'll really put my eyes up and go, okay, maybe this guy has something. But I think the draws has been kind of really favourable for the Wars. So it's one of those ones that if you've drafted him, you're happy. I think the time is to cash in, though.
Here's an easy one to bring up in terms of just a comparison. Sam Walker, terribly slow start. Owners frustrated out of their minds. Tanner Boyd, I'm sure our listeners are in good enough leagues. You're not getting him straight up for Sam Walker. But Tanner Boyd plus a little bit, just something. Fill a gap this week for someone. You're very confident Sam Walker rest of season is going to be significantly better than Tanner Boyd?
Yeah, I would be. Yep.
Yep. Okay. That's good for listeners to hear because there are leagues, gentlemen, where you would absolutely have a shot right now to get that one through.
Yeah, it would be.
I don't think that's that crazy.
No, 100%.
Cal's come in, Tanner Boyd, goal-kicking halfback in the top 14. Yeah, see, Cal, that is where I sit as well on this. I think with Metcalf coming in at 6, he's not losing the goal-kicking ton. He's been kicking really well too. And Metcalf for injury reasons as well. You'd rather him not goal-kick, Todzer, surely.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So with that and even less pressure potentially sitting there on Tanner to do everything, I feel like the floor for Tanner is really high in the team that's going to perform. So it's just whether he has that top-end scores that he's been getting. So anyway, worth the convo, gentlemen. Enjoyed that one a lot. Lecker hopefully does play back row this week and doesn't get moved to the centres because that will really unlock the SuperCoach potential.
Nah, he'll play back row this week. Pompey had a baby, so...
Yeah, fair, Tozza. So that was just a one-off. Good luck to him. Yeah. Congratulations to Mr. Pompey. Just checking the bench real quick. So Niokore dropped to 18, I think is good. And just a quick mention in those in deeper leagues, this has gone terribly for truthers of Chanel Harris-DeVito, who let's be perfectly frank, Todzer has done very little wrong.
Oh, he's done nothing wrong. He's made his tackle. That's crazy. Yeah, just HIA at the wrong time, unfortunately. That does happen. This could happen again to the later team later. The Cowboys could be bad timing for one Tommy Chester. So it's just all timing sometimes in sport. And look, would I have dropped Chanel Harris-Tavita for Luke Metcalf? Of course, it's different gravy, but. Yeah, real tough on Chanel and also the emergence of Sam Healy. Sam Healy's been unreal coming in and playing behind Wade Egan. That's a role that Chanel has played in the past. Come on, just spend 20 minutes at hooker. And it'd be interesting what Chanel does. I would love to see him sort of beef up and go into lock. I think he'll be really good there. He defends quite well. I'd love to see him in the middle. But, yeah, we've got Aaron Clark. It'll be interesting. Interesting what happens with Chanel.
Just becomes an elite reserve for the Wires for the run home. And it actually – thinking about how the Bronx got their title with Ben Hunt rotating through halves and hooker, I think that actually puts you guys in a wonderful position depth-wise in your spine for the first time, probably in a long while, Todzer. Obviously, Tate at fullback as well. You've got most positions squared away except centre. Bloody centre, I tell you. But can bring Campera on a wing and put RTS into centre. See, I think you guys
Nickel Clockstead makes a good centre, just quietly.
It would be good, Simo. No, fair play.
The best team. It would be their best team.
That's how far away. This is the thing about Tane. That's how far away he is. We would prefer to move Lecker to centres before we put Chance there, I reckon. That's how far away Tane is.
Pretty bonkers, though. Yeah.
Which is just wild, isn't it?
Maybe,
It
is.
It is.
You're probably right. It's just hard to know because Chance was obviously out last week too.
Obviously, yeah.
I think in the preseason they did do what you said and played Lecker there over Chance, which is pretty shit.
By the way, every week I watch the Warriors, last 3 weeks. How big is Ali Leotawa? Seriously. He looks like a absolute unit out there. Honestly, sometimes he grabs the ball. I'm like, oh, is Vaimunga on? Is he? No, it's not. It's Leotawa. It's unbelievable how big he is.
Yeah. No, he's a monster. Absolute monster. So a lot to talk about for the Wars. I'd still like your sell high on Jackson Ford because surely the upside doesn't continue. But geez, he's making a compelling argument to average 85 this year. Bloody hell.
Absolute draft pick of the season. So
he's just on fire.
Locked away already.
Unreal. Barney looked great in return too, by the way, boys.
Sorry, mate. Say that again.
Mitch Barnett looked very good on return. Jeez, he looked strong and fit. This Warriors team looks fit, which is something you don't really get from the Warriors very often.
I think we've waxed lyrical enough on your mighty Wars, but it was worth the time because there's a lot of Supercoach interest. So just to repeat, Ali Leotawa, if you've got him in your platoon at CT Dub, I think he's a red-hot start this week, as well as DWZ. Over to the Tigers. I'll be honest, I like Jock Madden as just an NRL grade player. I think he offers a decent amount. Delighted that Dewey has been fit, but if I could find a way not to start Adam Dewey this week, gentlemen, I would be advising that very strongly.
Yeah.
Because you can't cry foul. You start him this week and he goes down again. That is on you, baby. Jesus.
I can't believe he's named.
I can't believe they signed him for 3 or 4 years. It's crazy to me. Anyway. He's there, so it gives the Tigers a chance, but I seriously believe that this is Luai's team playing at 5'8" to spark them, and I think it's a drop-off for me. I wouldn't want to be starting too many over in New Zealand, gentlemen. I really wouldn't.
No.
You're going to start Buller because he's going to be he's your fullback, but honestly, guys, I'd fade almost all of them. 7 down.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't seem like a very good spot for the Tigers.
I've got Samuel Alfano this week, and he's been going bonkers, obviously. But I'm looking at a way to probably not start him. I think that left edge is really going to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think so too. You're going to be fine rest of the season. It's just the weeks that Luai is out. So Fino and KPP. Twile's actually found his way to some minutes and a motor, and I think the bench is the same. So he's actually probably a decent FRF too, and nothing that exciting. I'll just quickly bring him up. All right. Moving on down to the Bronx. Now, no Payne Haas. In comes Xavier Willison, who has looked very poor to start the season. So it's hard for me to say, like, if you think he showed enough at the back end of last week to look fit again, he's probably an okay plug-and-play at FRF2 with maybe a splash of upside, but I'm not super excited. Corey Jensen will get a few more minutes. He's been okay he's like in the 12 range of just he'll plot his way to 55. Good luck to him. I wanted to get excited about the Bronx. I said at the start of the potty about Roosters and Bronx, but I am nervous, Simo, about with no Haas on the front foot. Yeah. Do they really have enough in the forwards to dominate games to give enough space for the outside backs?
Geez, like Payne Haas is such a huge loss for Brisbane. Like, obviously he's leaving the end of this year, so they'll have to figure it out anyway. But like, I mean, Xavier Willison, I am keener on him Supercoach wise as a front rower than I was last week as a second rower. Okay. He played in the last year. He played a bit of front row, and he was so much better Supercoach wise. Like, I don't think he's a high end waiver by any means. He's just a plug and play guy. But if you're Keon Klamatongi owner, maybe you're Toby Couchman, your front row, these sorts of guys who are unavailable this week, like he's a guy you could look to pick up and play there. I think he'll do a job for you. But yeah, I am worried about the Broncos middles. Let's be real. Like the Dolphins pack is not, it's not a super big pack, but Fini Fuiaki's been playing great footy. Lemuelu has been underwhelming, but still can do a job. Just about how those middles go for the Dolphins, but I think they can at least hold their own against the Bronx. And if that happens, I mean, you're probably not going to contain Katoa, Hammer, Herbie Farnworth, these sorts of guys. Like it could be the recipe for the Dolphins to win this game. So we'll see what happens.
I think the Dolphins bashed the Broncos forwards here. I reckon like the contact that the Dolphins have had over the last couple of weeks, just their initial contact has been massive. And I just don't think, without Payne Haas going forward and getting any sort of post-contact, I just think that the Broncos are going to roll over here pretty easy.
I could easily see it.
I'm going to say something that are you both sitting down? I think Todd's you're sitting down. I'm going to say something that I thought I'd never say on this potty. Brendan Piakura, in terms of starch and defense back like second half of last week, he played really good football. Like, I was shocked. I actually had to stand there and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have to put my hand up on the potty and say, okay, he made a difference. Do I think he can do it for 80 minutes? No, probably not. But he's a massive improvement on Gazzeski. I just want to throw that out
there. Mate, you could jump out there and be an improvement on Gazzeski.
I mean, I have been training and getting the old shoulders ready all the time. But no, seriously, like, Piakura did to go to Melbourne and do that second half. I don't know what he had in him. I even thought his hair looked better. Like the kid, he didn't look healthy like he does.
Give him the full rundown. Jeez,
this guy. Honestly, Piakura this week, after you've glazed them so much this week, if I could get over 4 drop balls as a bet, I probably would. Seriously, and 12 missed tackles, he's gonna shoot the bed.
Look, I like what. I'm just hearing there's a few comments here, gentlemen. We'll just roll through. So, yeah, load of crap here. Tell you what, Todd is a real stand-up guy. I like the double meaning there as our resident comedian. Well done for Dursto. Lock it in. Toddy is onto it. Morgan Knowles has been slapping folk. Tell you what, the kid, he is a beast of a human. He does hit damn hard.
Him and Tommy Gilbert are like psycho, bro. They're psycho.
I was actually going to mention him, gentlemen. Tommy Gilbert, both in real life and Supercoach, I'm happy for him. He's found a little bit less plotter in terms of defense, at least. He's hitting hard again, and that's why he's an Origin player, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Consecutive games do help.
Of course.
Yeah, but he's a good player that's getting the chance to finally have some continuity, so yeah.
That's true. I'm just happy for him, Simo. Like he's clearly a good player and he's tough as nails. Very startable in Supercoach again, all of a sudden, right? FRF, minimum FRF2. He's been doing beautiful things. Finifuiaki and Lemuelu already own doing wonders for Supercoach. Finifuiaki might be one of the waiver steals of the year. He looks outstanding. So I want to check. So Todzo, you think there's a chance here that the Finns who attack beautifully, if this is in the dry, this should be points, right? This game.
I think there's points both ways, yeah.
So some of your marginal starts, it was good to see Selwood have a really good week. for
He's
CTW. Love that. Actually played really well too. Cody Nikarima, probably a decent week at Suncorp. I actually think he's a good sort of like bottom end of the 10 rankings this week for 5'8". Amarillo keeps being annoying and doing decent enough things to probably start, but risky. And I just want to mention one as well that I think might have been given up on in leagues. If Josiah Karapani is sitting out there on your waivers, listeners, go get Josiah Karapani and enjoy the next 4 weeks. It's coming.
Get behind that.
It is well and truly coming. I would spend quite a decent waiver claim if Karapani's out there. I'd go that high. I think he'll really come good.
We called it last week. We said, crap score coming against the Storm last week.
Yeah.
He
could be getting dropped in a lot of leagues where people aren't quite as sharp.
I think so. If he gets dropped this week, listeners, and you're the only one that listens to our potty, I would be ready to pounce with a waiver claim to pick him up before he hits free agency. Personally, I think he's that guy this week. Shout out to Dean Mariner, who actually shored up that side defensively, albeit dropped the ball a couple of times, but he did actually defend really well. So, all right, that one, honestly, boys, in terms of SuperCoach for me, that is like peak this week. Dolphins,
that's
Bronx,
juicy.
Yeah. Incredible. Herbie Farnworth, holy crap. Jesus, he is just Supercoach royalty at this point. If he has a double at some point, he's going to score 150. It's going to be ridiculous. Here's one. So here we go, listeners. I've got Andrew's asked Karapani or Sully.
Karapani this week.
Yep.
I'd say Karapani as well.
Timoko for Karapani. Yeah, look.
Yep. See you, Maddie.
You just have to. That's a yes. It's a painful yes, but it's a yes.
Depends who you own.
Still good for those Noah Martin, especially in Classic where Noah Martin's a very vital part of the team. Bulldogs v Knights. Cannot not wait for this one. I will be busy on Saturday afternoon. This ain't going to be pretty, gentlemen. Oh boy, this could be a very, very tough watch. No Trey Mooney, who has been brilliant for us in the middle, giving us a bit of starch. Looking at the bench, it looks like Phoenix Crossland may play 80 minutes.
You do that. You see.
Yeah. Can someone else? This one hurts me because I looked at it and I'm like, this is one of those annoying. Bulldogs will be professional and win like 28-4 type of matchups. Like they'll just.
But you guys won't be in it at all.
Like we'll be out of it from. We might even score that first try.
Yeah, you score the first try.
Hoorah! Hoorah! Dane Gagai scores in the corner. Hoorah! And you're like, yes. And then it all just bores the shit out of you for the remaining 76 minutes. So that's how I see it. It's a green light. I'll even give my boy Anari Tuali. You can green light him here. There's going to be – they'll score. You're just trying to get lucky. Burton showed a bit last week, gentlemen. Slight trend in a positive direction, Timo.
You see him play well. Like
he looked good.
He's had a few injury things the last couple of years, so like not massive ones to keep him out for a long period of time, but like I remember he did the hammy preseason. He's had the knee the year before that he sort of tried to battle through. So it's good to see him starting to get a bit healthier. I think it's sort of improving his play.
Want to mention Satili Tupanua. Speaking of men who hit like Mack trucks and are absolutely aggressive. Holy crap. He's fun to watch, to be fair. He starts in the middle, Tods. Can you frame an argument that his work rate will be enough here?
Not really. So you see him in, I think in round one, he played like 55 minutes and scored a 45. I just don't see it, to be perfully honest.
Yeah, okay.
He is such a sin bin or HIA risk. Like he's just, I could not start. Like you're right. Like to bring it up, like he on the surface looks like an okay start, but gee, you'd have to have some balls about you.
Yeah, okay. Look, it could be those just desperation times. Like if you're the Trey Mooney owner, if you're the Haas owner, there's going to be there.
I can see why people would do it. Yeah.
Hopgoodone is scrambling. Like it's a tough spot. I think he's an okay plug and play, to be honest. I think it's fine. He's just a 2RF, isn't he? I don't think he's got. Is he got the dual?
No, he's front row.
He's front row. I'm fine plug and play FRF too. I think that's fine. I think you'll get somewhere around 50 at least, especially with O'Sullivan in 70. Pardon me.
I mean, sometimes he does jag something. Like he runs hard.
Yeah.
Occasionally he can even tip on. Like you could get something. It could go. It's such a risk reward play. Like
that's how I see it too. It's like
knocked out the
40-ish.
first tackle.
Yeah, it's a 40-ish with a
tee up
risky
the try.
injury, or maybe jagging a try in 70. I'm with you, so that's good analysis. Yeah. Fletcher Sharp back, like at least that gives us something to look at.
If he plays,
yeah,
even if you're the coach, man, I wouldn't be bringing Fletcher Sharp back this week.
Yeah,
like you're guaranteed to lose this game. There's not a chance you beat the Bulldogs. Not without Trey Mooney, not without Kalen Bonga, not without Dylan Brown. Why would you risk Fletcher Sharp if he's not 100%?
Yeah. The
talk is that he's not 100%.
I can get around it, mate. So we can not spend too long on the Knights here. I'll just bring up Matt Croker, who's actually done a decent amount. He's actually been playing. He's got a high motor. He does give offloads. So I think he's actually a fine plug and play. I'm going to go very low-end claim, but I think he may have actually stolen those minutes from Frizzell, despite Frizzell actually being listed in 10. So he's okay.
I'd much rather play Matty Croker over Sitili Tupanua.
I think you're right, especially with the way this sets up in that bench. Good to see Cody Hopwood on. We may as well give guys a run. We're 2-1, but it's the most mirage 2-1 you've ever seen. Let's be real.
Yeah.
All right. Moving our way down. You poor Parramatta Eels. Milky Jenkins proving like he could, in fact, be this Jesus' contenders for waiver pickup of the year.
Yeah,
Milky Jenkins. Timo, it's definitely not intended as I got this one right and you didn't. But tell me you wouldn't love Brian Toll to be playing on the left of what's been going on over there to this point in the year. They love the left-hand side. It's just what they do. It's bonkers. Brian Toll may have scored the try of the season, by the way. That was outstanding.
It was unreal.
Like who does the double kick to himself? Like, that is awesome. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. But, yeah, the left-hand side, Casey McLean's about to get his. If anyone are getting cold feet about Casey McLean, go get that guy. There's some really good stuff about to happen with Casey McLean because that pass will eventually go just one further inside and he will score some doubles real soon. So he's a really cool buy low for me, actually, because he's actually not been scoring that fantastic, which is a bit weird. The rest of it is as it is. IPAP not getting great minutes, but surviving with some attacking upside. So, Dursto's come in, so you don't get the kick and gather points. That is a really poor miss that we don't, because that is a skill and should be rewarded as such. Used to be 6.
They never used to reward them anyway. It was one of those stupid stats that like people would clearly do it. They still they would give it on a really random time and then not give it another. So it's one of those stats I think it's good that it's gone.
Really quick, just testing. If Liam Martin was to get 80 minutes, Tots, I want you to think present day, not historical.
Yeah.
The tackling is going to be up.
Yeah.
I have a weird feeling he's going to be relevant as a third 2RF.
Yeah, I was going to bring him up too. I think he's going to be a really good guy. I think he's going to make 35 to 40 tackles a game and be unreal.
Yeah, I really do too. I don't want to do the hard sell, but he should be probably owned just to make sure we're not, like, if we're wrong, we'll put our hand up because he's not been relevant for a long time. But I just feel this might actually work in a red hot side. And it's a real cheap entry point as well. Some good questions popping in the chat. Thank you for that one, Dursto, too, mate. That's a shit bit of news. Meso, welcome, good sir. No player in National Rugby League has scored 8 tries in the first 3 games of a season since 1948. Hot milk. It is kind of nuts to look at that on paper, to be fair. He's almost scored a hat-trick on average a game. Jesus.
He's doing the damn thing. It's going well.
Great question here from Razzle. Are you still a McEwen truther? Kenoth. Monstrously. Nothing has changed. Wait till we get our actual proper half combination and Ponga back, and then I think some points will flow. And Dylan Lucas, gentlemen,
Buy low.
Patience if you're an owner. Buy low if you can. Once we get those combos back, he's going to be good gear. All right. Parramatta, Yongi facing a one-match ban at some point. I don't know when that's actually happening, but
I think it's just suspended, isn't it? Like a suspended sentence, like don't do it again.
Gotcha, Simo. Yeah, fair play.
Be a good boy and you don't get suspended.
So having to rip at me for historical. Be careful, Razzle. He said the same about my pup Lungy. Now, I just love whenever you can.
It also love the fact that Mapapalungi's getting the he's been getting the run two in the last 4 weeks. Like,
I love it. Absolutely brilliant. And I love that his name just will forever live on. Fair play to you, mate. So Parramatta, I've said it for a while. I'm not really a big fan of owning or starting many of these guys. Jack Williams, though, moves into the 8. So he's away from that 80-minute edge roll, Todzer. I don't like it for him. I'm not saying he won't be good and he'll floor his way, but I think you wanted that 80-minute edge roll, didn't you?
Yeah, he definitely did. He definitely wanted that Kalma spot, unfortunately. Man, Katoa hasn't been great defensively. There's a lot of stuff happening around him and Pezzett that's not really that great. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't maybe spell the edge Jack Williams or with Katonga if that's starting to go really bad. Like, I don't know if you boys have noticed it, but man, if you send any traffic down Jonah Pezzett and Katonga's way, there is gaps for days. So, not great.
NRL standard defender, Tods. Like, not even close.
Bro, he hasn't even made a tackle yet. What are we talking about? He's unbelievably bad.
He's an arm grabber.
But yeah, in terms of this game, like Jackie Williams in the 8, it's not what you want. You definitely want him on the edge for 80.
It sucks because I think those who believed in drafts, they got it right. They absolutely did. He's just a really good footballer. Good question.
I wouldn't be pouring one out for him yet. I still think he's going to be a big winner from this Hopgood injury. Like, I think as a middle, he's still going to score very well, and like he spelled on the edge last week for a few minutes. So I really, as a Jack Williams owner in our league of record, like, not even remotely worried about this change. Like, I think I just view him as a must-start front rower, and that's just how he's always been. So
easy. Sneaks into the bottom of the top 10, Simo. Is that about right?
Yeah, like, he's one of those guys, like, yes, we did speak on the potty last week that you do like the 80-minute edge guy if you can get it, but Jackie Williams sometimes on that edge can just go a little bit missing in terms of his hit-up count, but like in the middle, he's just forced to do more work. So I think he could pick up that base and still just do a few sneaky good things. So I'm not too concerned.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
Yeah, good shout, mate. And I think this is an interesting one related to that is Dylan Walker's role now. Now, with JDB not there, you've got Dury, Moretti, Tuivasa. Geez, he's a promising youngster. Fair. If Dylan Walker somehow played 65 minutes, he's going to pass the ball a lot. We know that. And he tackle enough to be relevant. I just think he's almost like a strange upside play if you could lock him into the 60-plus minutes because he's going to pass the ball so much near the try line. He may try assist semi-frequently. It's just it's not for it. It's risky, isn't it?
It's it's a deep league one. Like it's a
deep
12 teamer with deep benches or even like 14 team plus.
Yeah, that's
I also don't think he has the legs to go 60.
Probably not. You can see why Meso's brought it up though. Like there's a tiny window that actually, as long as JDB isn't named on the bench, that actually is something.
He could easily go like first 30, have a spell, come back on for 25 at the end.
25,
55 minutes he could do maybe.
It's close. And it would just take a couple of try assists and all of a sudden you're looking at a 55-plus average. It's interesting. That's a good raise. I think this is welcome to you, Down or Dawn.
DW.
DWN. I'm not just going to leave it. What I've learned from tonight is I drafted the Bilo team of the season. Lucas, Carapani, Tupou, McLean, Teddy, Tino. There's a lot of my boys in there, mate. So if you followed me preseason. Just be patient. I want to believe there's some W's coming. So thanks for joining. It's good to get that out, right? That felt good to vent. It's good from you.
All
right.
When you draft that team, you just have to. Like, that's...
You do. Oh, mate.
The fact
Timo is added to that is, like, that's brutal. Yeah. All right. I'm still going to recommend him as a buy low when we get there. Nothing's wavered. Nothing's changed for me. Cowboys versus the Storm. I did quickly look at both my leagues just to see if I was up against Tuafa'alongo this week. Holy moly. Yeah. That's when Cowboys get tired at the end of the game.
Or at the start of the game.
The last 15 minutes could be a disgrace. It just depends what mood Melbourne are in, but it could be an absolute.
They are going to be hurting after last week too. Going down to the Broncos at home, they are like, honestly, Cam Munster is about to have a field day, dog.
Cam Munster will look significantly better against the Cowboys because his little jogging thing's not been working too good against the committed defense of, say, the Bronx. Still basing 60, which was fantastic. But, yeah, your patience will be rewarded. I'm with you, Todzer. Cam Munster to find a way to the try line this week is almost a given.
Yeah.
Alec McDonald playing on edge is a fun thing. Yep, cool. Love that. Sean Bloor not back. So, to be honest, Lasardi owners should be spewing because he definitely would still be there right now and just carving up both base power plus upside. So that kind of sucks. You're going to greenlight a lot of this. Start Willie Warbrick, start Howard, start Leo. I know that a lot of people would be upset with him. He'll bounce back this week. And Nick Meaney finally did some upside. Here you go.
Yeah, yay, Nick Meaney.
Oh, Saint Nick.
I'm saying
all right.
Yeah, that's been a strange how he's been as shit as he has in this team is really confusing. But and then with Grant kicking the other night.
Did you say Meaney hit upside in the weekend?
Sorry, mate.
Did you say Meaney hit upside?
No, just this week. No,
this week.
It's been funny how bad he's been. It's like in a team that's been so good. That's just weird. Anyway. Would you want to start many Cowboys? Good on you, Drinky. You beat up the Titans. Well done, son. Good for you.
Do you really want to start Drinky, though? Like, Drinky not goal kicking against the Storm. Like,
risky.
I feel like it's one of those ones that, like, I own Drinky in one league, and I think I benched him last week. Obviously got that wrong. It was for Falongo, though, but that's beside the point. But
must be nice.
Yeah, well, like, if you're going to start Drinkwater in a matchup now that you probably wouldn't have, like last week, because the goal kicking is just a bit of a big loss for Drinky, I think, like, especially in these sorts of matchups. Like, Drinky will do his thing against the easier teams, but, yeah, I don't know. Like, I could see scenarios where you might be tempted to start your number 2 fullback if you've got one.
Dursto's gone hard here. Drinky historically gun against the Storm. Maybe not this week. How valuable is Clifford as the only goal-kicking 5'8"? Clifford has found his way to value sneaky-wise because Purdue has been so effective as a center. Like, he's playing like almost like a roving center role in a pretty crap team. So, yeah, I think Jake Clifford, I haven't recast our rankings, but Todzer, you're an owner in League of Record, mate. Like, he's doing enough. Yeah, bottom of the 10, probably 12 to
like the first 3 games though. Like, we played Newey, Tigers, and the Gold Coast. Like, it hasn't been a tough run. This will be the big test for Jay Clifford this week. You know, they come up against a decent side, and we don't expect them to put on too many points. So he has been running really good, really, really good. Actually, his running game's been awesome. He's broken a few tackles and set up some things nicely. But like, if I had a chance to not play Clifford this week, I would, kind of thing. I just think it's screamed to Clifford sub 30, like it just does. But yeah, look, he's been really good and really serviceable for me.
Fair play. Easy to rest most of them. Would either of you stash Zach Laybut just in the chance he hangs on to the role? Good young talented player. If Cowboys were better, I think we're keen, but quick thumbs up, thumbs down.
I think he I don't think so. I don't think he keeps that spot, right? Tom Chester comes back in. Surely.
I think Chester's been fantastic.
He's been unreal. He's been defensively very good too.
Similar to, even though they've not been a great team, I actually think genuinely Jake Clifford would be a very tough drop at this point. He's not been that bad real life either.
Oh, no. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right. Tell you what, is this an important game for both these teams just to see where they're truly at? The Sharkies badly need a performance here, gentlemen. And I am not convinced that Britton Nickera's loss is going to help them any. But in comes our man, Teague Wilton, back on the left edge, I presume.
Maybe not. We don't know.
That it would be very interesting if you're a Britton Nickera truther, as many of us are. You'd be a little nervous if Teague pops on the right, I would think. Do you agree with that, Simo?
Yes, it would. Yeah, well, obviously we don't know. It could go either way. Billy Burns does move around a lot, like plays through the middle and whatever. So you'd imagine he's a little bit more versatile and would get the gong. But yeah, like if Teague's the one that gets named there, that does throw the cat amongst the pigeons.
Don't bring out the gong, mate.
Sorry, what?
No, don't. No.
Boomer Redford's still trying to find it.
What are you even referring to?
That's a face of a boomer right there.
What are you even?
Oh, it's so late.
Oh, brilliant! I was trying to avoid the gong this week, but you brought it ripping
I
back.
think you mean gong.
I own Clifford and Nicarima. Tight choice. Cody, AJ Mason. I love Cody's matchup this week, mate. I think that's a pretty clear one for me. Burns changed jersey numbers for those who notice these things. Number 11 this week. Okay. You have a good pickup, Meso. Love that attention to detail, sir. Have a great soundbite from Todzer on the weekend. Yep, if we can roll that in and play the clip, I'm down.
I'll have to find the chat.
Looking forward to learn a bit more about that. Keeping this moving, we mentioned him last week. Gong related, says Durster. I like to hear it, mate. Adam Fanua-Blake. I'm just going to bring it up until it just isn't a thing. Boy, would he be gettable, like crazy gettable at this point. Is he worth a salvo to maybe return top 10 FRF, Simo? Is there anything different, or you're still saying, Jesus, he might be off?
Oh, it seems a bit off, doesn't it? But that's just all the Sharks. I mean, the Sharkies looked great against crap opposition. And they have had massive issues beating those good teams. And, yeah, like something needs to change there. It all depends on who you're going to give up to get a guy like Fanua-Blake. But, like, assuming it's not anything too crazy, I think he's okay to look to go and get. But, yeah, it's one of those ones that like Fitzgibbon, like he could just stick with what he's doing and just hope it works. Like I don't have any great faith in it turning around because we've now had like sort of the back end of last year too that wasn't great.
Don't forget Oregon Kafusi says. G'day, Cal.
Very good.
Ora Kafusi.
G'day, Cal.
G'day, Cal. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of opportunities here. Nico being the only one who's still, I think he's playing great in a team that's not playing well. Will Kennedy trying to show those upcoming fullbacks that he might be the one that should be replaced. Let's put it out there again. Not his best work. Meso says, yes, Oregon. Absolutely loving it. Beautiful. Keedy says, Panthers hangover, fellas, relax.
Oof.
Interesting.
Maybe.
Yeah. So you get battered the week before against the Pennies. Yeah, fair play. I see the logic. Bilo on Kale Euro remains in place. I think I saw a Jesse Ramian comment a bit further up. Bear with me, gentlemen, really quickly.
Is it? Should I drop Jesse Ramian?
Also, Jesse Ramian. Your man Saran. Jesse Ramian versus Sully as a whole, Simo. I'll throw to you, mate.
Oy. I'd probably keep Sully. I think Moses. Yeah. I think he's the stat, like the new stats benefit him in a weird way. So yeah, give us Moses Sully.
Agreed. All right, Teague Wilton, really quick. Like, are we still thinking low-end claim? We've been saying picking him up for the last 2 weeks, to be fair. But mid to low, Todza, average.
Oh, yeah, happy with that. I think he'll get his decent work ethic.
If he plays 80, I actually think his defensive work ethic gets him close to that 35-plus tackle mark on occasion. I actually think he might sneak a 60 average the rest of season if he plays 80 minutes. So
I've been a Teague fan for quite some time, old son.
We have. I think this format should suit him nicely. Over to the Raiders. Great performance by Tamale. He's going to be a talent. I love watching him play. It was a good week to own most Raiders. Huddy Young's ramming it down the throats who thought he needed better halves play. He did it pretty much all himself. He was outstanding.
He prefers it like that. It's weird. Like,
sorry, mate.
He's just Hudson Young's just like a bit of the Greg Birds about him. Like,
lovely.
Doesn't matter who it is. Give me the ball. I'll go get it myself. I'll just try everything, do everything. Like,
pretty much.
When he's in those moods, like SuperCoach gold. Like, so
mate, he went within a whisker a couple of times of scoring 130 there. Like, he just was short of the line. I'm a huge fan. I think Huddy Young is awesome. Tom Starling, pretty worrying, to be fair. Again, there's not a lot of points going on the last couple of weeks, just showing how challenging Hooker is this year. I mentioned previously your Eagans and your Starlings you used to sneak away, get away with. They're not even coming close to 50. Like,
I mean,
got a little injury.
Starling hurt his neck, so he never came back on. So that'll hurt when I think it's one of those ones. Like, I actually think Tommy Starling in deep leagues. I'm not. Like, I own him in our league. I'm not even thinking about finding a replacement for a guy like that because, like, he has as much upside as many hookers do, and like until I see Brayley, like both of the guys getting through the game fit, I think Starling's still going to play like 60 minutes in this Canberra team, and until that changes, I think I'll just keep running him out there as an upside play because I think better days are to come, and he did cop an injury last week, which didn't help.
Yep. Simi Sasangi hanging on to the CTW spot there, Todza, with Timoko on not even the standard interchange. So he's on the extended. So it just is what it is. And like Timoko, I don't know if he even played New South Wales Cup yet to get the runs under the board. Apologies, I don't have that information in front of me.
I think he did play New South Wales Cup 2 weeks ago. I can't remember if he played last week.
Yeah, last week I didn't see it. Did he, Simo?
Yeah, I'll have a look and see what.
Have a squiz, mate. I'll stick on this.
Very concerning for Matthew Timoko, isn't it?
You want Timoko to have brain New South Wales Cup to show that the foot injury because Ricky came out and said he will make his way back to the first grade team. He didn't beat around the bush. So
yeah, he played New South Wales Cup last week.
Thanks,
12 runs, 3 offloads, try assist, line break assist, 15 tackles. Pretty good.
Jesus. So he's just okay. I'm sticking with my call. I think Sasangi's better, more valuable to them on the pine, just slotting in personally, but that's me. They need that speed Timoko offers. But anyway, I think Timoko, he's a really tough drop for me still, gentlemen. I'm going to stick it. I know it seems like I'm being a bit stubborn on this. I still think he'll come in, and I still think you'll absolutely have him as CTW3 or better. So he's such a hard drop. But if you are getting the roster squeeze, I'm not so stubborn to say, hey, like he can't be dropped. If you've got some of those good options, I think Karapani was mentioned earlier, that makes it a little easier because I think the upside there is immediate, right? But for some of those marginal calls, Todger, I still wouldn't be rushing to drop him, mate.
Yeah, I guess. If I was in a pitch, I'd be happy to drop him. Like, I think he's lost his spot, and that's as much as I think about it. So I would be happy enough to drop him, especially for a guy like Karapani who is playing this week. So many injuries around this week. Like, Karapani's got mad upside as well,
Yeah, let's hope. As I was saying, mate, like hopefully you've got one of those options we mentioned tonight. Like if someone gave up on Tupou or just anyone like that, bang, go and do it.
But I am also an owner in Sasangi too, so it makes it a little bit tricky for me to talk about Timo because I do think that Sasangi should hold that spot.
Imagine if he ends up playing 80 minutes on an edge at some point in his career in the near future. That will be a play
He'd have to soon. Yeah.
He'd be up there.
But when he gave Stephen Crichton the old hiss, I'll sort of see you later, I was like, my George, I haven't seen anyone do that to Critter, like to stop Critter like that and send him the wrong way. I haven't seen anyone do that to Critter. That's crazy.
His lateral ability is sick. It's his speed as an outside back that I think's like it's why I think he'd be a gun edge back rower. Why he hasn't found his way to an edge back rower position in rugby league yet, I don't know. It's a bit weird to me, but just got a couple of questions. I'll actually jump back one, so lock it in. Can you guys discuss Nikera's rest of season value? He's killing me, and I want to drop him. Yeah, I get it. You've got the shallower league as well. In a league that had 2 2RFs, he's droppable. In a league that has 3 2RFs, I don't think Nikera is droppable, gentlemen. Agreed?
Yeah, like in a nutshell, yes, but like it goes against what I said at the start. Like there was that question about Tupou, Hopewade, and Nikora. Like I wouldn't say he's undroppable, but it's one of those ones. Like it depends who it's for, but general advice would be, you're probably going to want to keep him.
Yeah, and there is Meso mentioned about Nikora being coming from the bench. He did have the injuries and the suspensions leading up to the finals, so he wasn't as match fit as he should have been. He's still an elite edge back rower. He's not crazy deep. Like he's played a long time, but he's not crazy deep into his career yet. So the upside of Sharks firing, especially in at worst, if you have him as a platoon 2RF, he is almost as good as it gets to play when the Sharks are playing someone favorable at home. You don't want to. I know I don't want to verse him, Todzer. Put it that way.
Oh yeah. If the Sharks running downhill, you want to play him. You want to be
absolutely. All right, rolling on through. We've got the last game of the round. Titans and Dragons.
Jeez.
Oh my Lord, Titans and Dragons. Now we'll go for the low hanging fruit in terms of combo. I am still going to say that Tino is a buy low. It's getting easier and easier to acquire. It's getting easier. If
he doesn't play minutes, he's not playing minutes. Like, what the fuck's going on?
The lack of minutes is baffling. Mo Fotuaika continues to just show that apparently he just doesn't give a shit anymore. I don't like it. What is going on there? I've said that 2 weeks in a row. But Tino, at some point, flip of the switch, 60 minutes, and you have picked up a guy who'll go well. Would you go acquire him, Todzer? Look me in the eye, mate, and tell me, is it complete red alert time, or would you still buy an amber?
If I was not the owner, I'm going to go look to buy him. I think that it gets back up by, if you've got a decent front rower, and you can get Tino in there, dude, he come season end, he could be hitting his strides. He could be playing lock again. You never know, and getting your fantasy gun again status. So I would be going and trying to acquire him. He is getting cheaper and cheaper, but and if I was a seller, oh man, it would take a lot to get Tino off me, I think.
Okay.
I don't know, as an owner, I reckon there's a lot of owners out there that are just maybe not quite that staunch, it's.
I'll give the listeners an example, Simo, that I'll throw to you, mate, because I think I enjoy doing this for perspective. Keon has minutes, but hasn't really shown any upside or tackle breaking ability for whatever reason. He looks a little, just a little less mobile to start the year to me, looking at him closely. Obviously, 70 minutes of Keon, you'd have said, would be FRF top 3 in a lock, but he's not shown a lot of upside potential. If you said Keon for Tino plus something, would you entertain that deal this week, obviously, with Keon on a buy?
I would be on the Tino plus side of that.
Yeah.
I would be,
That's a realistic offer, Simo. I think Keon's averaging just shy of 70. He's not burned owners, but he hasn't hit the upside. There could be owners out there of Tino that would absolutely crave the 65 walk-up start and think Keon could do more, and he could. But this is sometimes what you got to do. I think Keon owners who probably invested at least at worst an end of round 2, start of round 3 pick, all the way up to the back end of round 1, are probably a little disappointed, but also not devastated. I think that is a sort of realistic type trade you could look at, listeners, if you can.
Yeah. Well, you're getting the production out of Keon. Like, that's obviously the upside is lacking, but you're getting that base that unfortunately Tino's just not giving you. Like, everyone's been rolling Tino out these first 3 weeks. Obviously, hasn't gone super well. Like,
yep.
If you're trading for Tino, you're really hoping for Josh Hannah to change that rotation in those minutes, because if this stays as it is, there's no way that Tino's going to be a SuperCoach player. We're playing 45 minutes a game for the bloody Titans. Like, he needs to be playing back to the old role, playing lock, punching out 60 plus, exactly what Koloamatangi is currently doing, really. I think that's a really good trade to look for. Obviously, it could go either way, but whoever that plus is, I think if that can be someone with a bit of rest of season value that fixes your side, I'd still take the Tino side, because I'd imagine it would change. But I also see, like, as Tino owners, like, I reckon you should be entertaining those sorts of deals too, because I could see why you'd want to get off.
Just need those offloads to start flowing. He's been a prolific offloader, and it's how the Titans have been competitive even in tougher matchups. So we need to see that as well. And for Keon, to be fair, Meso's added fair value for Tino. So Dave Fifi straight up KPP Kazeski says Mason. So Fifi or KPP straight up for Tino, Tovza? Straight up, mate. Either?
No, I think that I think that Tino gets back to where he should be. I wouldn't take either. Straight up.
If I had FRF cover,
Jesus.
I'd be okay with Fifi personally. I think there's some much bigger days for Fifi coming some point very soon.
I can't tell you how fast I'd snap the feeder off if I owned Tino.
I thought
give me the feeder twice on Sunday.
Yeah. I'm more of the very warm on that one, Timo. Like, I think I pull the trigger, but because even if you replace Tino, would be your FRF 1 in most scenarios there, I presume.
Yeah, you think so.
Quick one, Williams or Tino. I'm on the Tino side still, but I fully understand the floor argument of Jack Williams. You're an owner, Simo. Is that one pretty close?
Oh, geez, I'd hate to be offered it.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, look, you probably do it, but it's one of those ones that the Tino owner would have to go and offer, I reckon. Like, I can see why you do it, because like Jackie Williams is probably another one that's probably going to punch out sort of what Koloamatangi's sort of doing at the moment, like that 60-odd. I think Jack Williams got 66 on the weekend, which is pretty much bang on what Koloamatangi's would have been doing around there. So, yeah, you could probably look – I think Tino's name means you could probably get more, but –
yeah, Williams plus. Go for Williams plus if you're a Tino owner. Just remembering, listeners, you want as many players who can go out and win you weeks. Floor 65 guys that cost you a lot on draft day, which is not what I thought, for example, I was getting out of Keon. I thought I was getting an offloader, tackle breaker type. They don't win you leagues. So picking up Tino in that scenario, I'm pretty keen on. Lock It In says more desperate than you think. Yeah, agreed. Meso adds, don't know, on same position, like for like trade, someone always feels they're going to get gypped, always chilling effect. I think that is correct. I think the dual eligibility does open up options though. Hannah has said no offloads for sure. It does look like that. Lock It In, which is doesn't really make a lot of sense. Second phase ball suits JC, Brimson, and Kinney. They're all second phase ball guys that are great support players. Crazy. They wouldn't be doing that.
I don't understand Chris Randall, man. I don't see what the Hannah sees. How is like him getting bashed and like pumped back 2.5 meters every time he makes a tackle? How is that helping the Titans? Like he sticks the tackle, but he gets bumped 2.5 meters before he even gets anyone stopped. It's embarrassing, dude. Tino in the lock roll should be going.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. I think put Tino back there. It's just I can't stress how painful it is for Tino owners. The Jolliffe injury just hurt them so bad, and what Jolliffe would have done for this.
But put any one of those other like Cleese Haas, Tui Simpkins, put Cooper Bye up to the front row. Just don't put Tino there, dude.
Put Arama Howe in. Put Arama Howe in 10. I really think that's the play. And Cleese Haas has actually been okay this year, to be fair, in a shit side. He's played all right. There's another one that I wasn't expecting to say. All right, so there is a question here that I want to bring up, and this is from Mr. Keaty. Awesome questions tonight, by the way, mate. Thoughts on T. Couchman's season value now, fellas? Had high hopes, but is looking like the Mark War of his family, a.k.a. second best. Don't you have a go at June, mate. We love June on this potty, even though I've got a Steve Waugh, his brother, up on the wall, signed frame.
Mate,
Simo,
you and I have had this conversation many times, Redford. I know you're a massive Steve Waugh fan.
I am a big Tugger fan.
Yeah, I've heard you like you do like Tugger. I'm more in the Mark Waugh variety myself, but
Simo,
that's a discussion for another day.
League of Record, you did trade. Listeners love to hear this. So you needed an FRF and you traded away Alakawatu to get T. Couchman. So I think very interesting trade there. Are Couchman going down for the next 4 weeks? That's officially come in. The suspension is 4, which I think all three of us, let's not spend a lot of time. Incredibly harsh. If Hopgood hadn't got injured, it wouldn't even barely be a penalty. Anyway, is what it is. Great for Couchman's immediate value. Next 4 weeks, I think you're going to really enjoy having T. Couchman in your FRF1 slot. Rest of season, to me, R. Couchman's been the better player in real life, and it's also translated to Supercoach. Thoughts?
Yep, I'd agree Ryan's been better. I don't think that it really has much of an effect on Toby, though, to be honest.
Okay.
I think that this Dragons team really, when you've got Emre Gula, Blake Laurie running around, obviously, really the way that Shane Flanagan has indicated he wants to play this team is literally just Cook and Little share the 9 role. Hamish Stewart, Ryan Couchman and Toby Couchman just play the bulk of the minutes.
As many as possible,
Yeah. Like, they might start, obviously they start those other 2 off the bench, get the first 20 minutes out of the way, and then just let the other boys just play 60 minutes each and just do it that way. So I reckon if you'd said at the start of the year, Toby Couchman's going to get 60 minutes a week, I think he'll still be very, very good. And there's no reason why Ryan can't also be a gun, and the same thing as Hamish Stewart, maybe to a slightly lesser extent, but not much less. It's I think Toby Couchman has had a couple of things go against him in these first few weeks. He's a great guy, I reckon, that you can just go and get. Like, he copped a HA on the weekend, played 32 minutes, pumped out of 42. Like, he's still a base beast when he gets those minutes. So if he's going to get 60 plus,
he scored like a 72 in 66 minutes or something.
Yeah, I reckon I still think that's what he is.
Yeah, agreed. You're not so convinced, Redford?
No, I get it. It's just there's a lot of those mouths to feed. Dylan Egan to come back, hopefully just on an edge. We're hoping that's what happens for this rotation, because otherwise it adds even more. Looking at this front row this week, Emre Gula and Laurie starting with neither of the Couchmans is just a brutal sight here for Dragons fans. So probably
that's all the proof you need, right?
It is. The one I want to mention then, gentlemen, is obviously Hamish Stewart, who's probably flirted with the edge of rosters right now. It's wheels up for the next 4 weeks for Hamish Stewart, for mine, with Ratchman out. Low-end claim is fine if you're 2RF needy, because I'm sure there are people out there. I'd go mid to lower. He actually, starting to hit up uptick in base stats, but that was influenced by Toby Couchman's concussion, of course. So, any disagreement, gentlemen? Mid to lower if you're needy. Pretty solid.
Yeah, I think Stewart will be good.
Beautiful. Egan is still a few weeks away. Just going to mention him. Don't forget, if you've got the roster space, was outstanding when he played. All right. Great to see Campbell come in and do some great things. Fairmani's held on to his spot despite not playing too flash last week. Do you think you can play him this week against the Dragons?
Absolutely not.
No, you got to see it
first.
first.
Dude's got hands like feet, mate. Seriously.
Yeah, it's not great. Not great. Arama Howe absolutely is pretty much an every week starter. He's kept Patson out. I was very curious this week again just to see, but with Patson in 19, looks pretty good. I still would hang on to Cooper Bye because Cooper Bye playing in the 13, as you have said, Tonto, it cannot be that far away.
Surely not.
Surely.
Seriously, get anyone in there.
Very SuperCoach friendly game, I reckon.
No,
Cooper Bye.
Curtis Morin's still there too. Jeepers.
Mate, he scored a try. Barred through the middle.
He's a trier, that's for sure.
He is absolutely a trier. Is Curtis
He's a
Morris.
trier.
Definition of try.
Way too long on this game. This is the fact we've gotten to the
Yeah,
Curtis Morin highlight package. Jeez.
X questions. What do you got for us, Simone?
Just the one, boys. Billy Smith or Brian Kelly this week?
Billy Smith. I think he's one of the main beneficiaries of that platoon CTW level. Not bad at all.
Yep. 3 rounds of Billy Smith, and that is it on X.
All right. Now, Keedy has very kindly brought up bumping the earlier Q lads. 2RF rankings. Leilua, Croker, Katonga, Hamish Stewart, assuming Twal is 1, but I need a second.
Hamish Stewart.
Yep. This week, Stewart, rest of season, Katonga.
Agreed. Yep. Leilua will lose his spot to Egan at some point, so not rest of season. Croker, look, FRF eligibility is really where Croker could find some rest of season value, to be fair. A red-hot chance.
I don't want to start Croker in the 2RF, really, unless I'm
no, definitely
really
not.
struggling, which, judging by these names, he's not that desperate yet.
Yeah, so is Jaden Sewer a sell high? Todza, I feel you're the most appropriate man to jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sell high. Sell as high as you can.
You don't need to sell him this week, mate.
For it.
I would happily wait till he brains the Titans this week and then sell him the week after.
Yeah, potentially. You do that too, but whatever you can do, however high you can get it. It needs to be got.
A couple other questions coming in late. Our man Razzle. Hey lads, Setu, Kelly, or Mariner long term for the last CTW spot?
Mariner.
A very gentle suggestion of Mariner.
It's Mariner by default if I've ever seen it. Jeez.
It's the default answer, isn't it? That's what I felt.
Yeah. She is Dan Mariner. Lovely, boys.
Cheers, lads. Loving your work. Get on New South Wales time. Mate, you're coming back to us. You've got 2 weeks left. You'll be right, Keedy. Great. Really good contribution from you tonight, mate. Appreciate. All right. We've done our questions. We've done our Listen League. We've wrapped up in an hour 20. Improvement on last week. What's up?
Yes, mate.
Yeah, get the show started early, boys. So late. Love it, but good gear. Love your work. Lock it in. Great contributor as well, mate. To our loyal listeners, thank you so much for tuning in, Mighty BDEs. It's been awesome to have you aboard. Simo, the Bronze Prince himself, thank you, mate.
Thanks, boys. No, thank you. Get those waiver claims in, everyone. There's a bit going on, so let's hope for another week of. Well, let's hope for a week. Shouldn't say another week, but a week of less injuries and less suspensions.
Amen.
Yeah, mate. And Scotty Seinfeld, thank you very much, good sir.
No, you're welcome, mate. It's always fun chatting footy with you, lads.
Just the genuineness in which you say that, mate, just lights my heart up. Thank you, mate.
Just trying to wrap it up, brother.
And is there anything else we can talk about just for Todd Simo, the Bronze Prince?
Yes,
no, just bring the gong out, mate.
Great potty again, gents. Have a good round all. That's us bouncing out of here.
Very good, mate.
As always, listeners, get that BD in you. Oh, yeah.